All right, guys, thanks very much. Kurt, big news yesterday. I'm sure it was something that you've been thinking about for some time and obviously had to go over with the family, but unofficially, officially announcing your retirement at the end of this season. Just how'd you come to that conclusion?
In this game, I always say, you'll know. I talk to guys that have retired and they said, you'll know when the time comes. And, I've obviously been talking a lot with, my wife and, my 3 kids to an extent. But, I just felt like it was time. I think, I've poured my heart and soul into this game for, 16 seasons in the big leagues and, 3 years in the minor leagues. And, it's something that, it's not an easy decision at all. But, I feel like, my wife and my kids deserve, me to be a full-time dad and husband now. And, I'm excited for the next chapter, in my life. And, I'm not stepping away from the game entirely. I'm still, excited to see what, the future holds and things like that. But, as of now, this is kind of the decision that, we came to.
Was it in the back of your mind a little bit as you were approaching this season?
Yeah, I go in every year. I always make a joke that I feel that way, but, I'm definitely blessed to be able to put on a uniform, big league uniform for these last 16 seasons, World Series, All-Star game. And, I feel like I've, done more than I've ever dreamed of doing, and I think, I've always said, my family will come first and it will always come first no matter what. And, I feel like it's time now to, enjoy my family.
16 years is a long time, let alone for a catcher. And as you mentioned, the World Series, an All-Star game, all of that. I mean, does it feel like it's been 16 years and 5 minutes all at the same time?
When I'm playing, every day, it definitely feels like 16 years. But now that kind of, thinking about it, like, man, it went by fast. But I'm like, no, it didn't. It didn't go by too fast. But, my kids, that's all they've known. My wife and kids. My wife was with me since, in college, and I was in A-ball, going through that grind, and, so I feel like, definitely, feel like it's time to, I had a little glimpse of it coaching my son's baseball, Little League team this past offseason before I signed to come play again. But, it's a good time, and I feel like, the kids, want their dad around more. My wife wants me around, I think, some. But, it's time for sure.
So are there, it might be a tough question to answer, future plans to possibly return to the game at the major league level in some capacity on your radar maybe?
I'm definitely not going to rule it out. There's some other things that I want to, possibly do first in this game, whether it's front office or some other stuff. I don't know. I haven't really decided on that yet, but, managing, would always be fun. I feel like as a catcher, you try to kind of manage a game with the, pitch calling and situations and stuff like that. So, I enjoy that type of stuff. But, like I said, my kids are young now, and, I need to be there for them and stuff. So, but not ruling anything out.
Well, Kurt, congrats on an incredible run, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. We appreciate the time.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Eric and Kurt, thank you very much. And one thing you hear about it being a grind from the minor leagues to the big leagues, then 16 years in a big league uniform, the travel, the long season. How much can it wear on a family, and how great is it to be able to finally spend that time and watch your kids grow up?
Absolute grind. And, I didn't take the time off, so I don't know what it's like. I went 50 years straight. And I think my family suffered a little, but we got through it. And Kurt's family will also get through it. And they benefited from so many things. He's not complaining about 16 years as a major leaguer. He's bragging about it, but he's also saying it hasn't been all gravy train. It never is.
But he did tease a little front office, possibly something you alluded to, which I do like. One Kurt Suzuki, he would do well from a jersey into a suit. All right.